Danny Knobler with Scott Miller, CBSSports.com at Yankee Stadium. Yes, back at Yankee Stadium. World Series moving back here for Game 6 on Wednesday night. And Scott, you talk about classic matchups. Andy Pettitte, more postseason wins than any pitcher in baseball history against Pedro Martinez, who has just great postseason history himself. This could really be interesting.
It could be a lot of fun. And I'll tell you this as well. Both of these guys are very well known in the postseason, as you mentioned. Yet we still don't know what we're going to get out of them. Andy Pettitte is about 45, something like that. He's older, and he's on 3 days rest. That's the key. He's never pitched on 3 days rest in a World Series at this age. And Pedro Martinez might be older. Pedro, I think he's ready for his ARP card.
But Pedro does have a lot of rest. He had more rest since Game 2. He's had plenty of rest. In fact, he didn't even pitch the first half of the season. So in any case, it should be interesting, which really fits because, as you know, Scott, we've seen them through the years. Game 6s can be some of the most fun games of any season, Game 6 of the World Series, and really they presented some of the most memorable games in at least recent World Series history.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most famous World Series games in history, I think you go back to 1975, the Carlton Fisk frantically waving the ball fair against the Cincinnati Reds, and that was after, talk about heightened anticipation, 3 days of rain before that one.
And shockingly, because this is Yankee Stadium, we don't have rain in the forecast for Wednesday, so we'll keep our fingers crossed. There is a little bit of rain in the forecast if we get to a Game 7 on Thursday. But amazingly, for this summer at Yankee Stadium, no rain in the forecast. But you're right, 1975, Game 6, there's even a book that just came out this year called Game 6, but there's been more.
Yeah, you can run down the list. Kirby Puckett in 1991 for the Minnesota Twins. Game 6 as the Twins are in the Metrodome trying to advance the series to a Game 7. Hang in there. Puckett, great catch against the plexiglass in the third inning. Hits the home run in the 11th inning to win it. And that was right after he came into the clubhouse, started the day that afternoon, called a short team meeting, told the Twins, hey, jump on my back today. I'm carrying you. And Puckett.
And I'll give you three more involving these two teams. Two involving the Yankees. 1996, they come back against the Braves. They win what was the first championship in what became four championships in 5 years.
Yep.
In 1996 against the Braves. Then, in 2003, the Yankees in Game 6, the last Game 6 that was played in a World Series,
period.
Josh Beckett beats them to win the World Series at Yankee Stadium across the street over there for the Florida Marlins. One other Game 6 that people in Philadelphia probably don't want to remember too much, 1993 in Toronto.
Mr. Joe Carter, Mitch Williams, who is running around here somewhere as a broadcaster, but that's another one. So both of these teams, Phillies and Yankees, have recent histories in Game 6. And the other thing, with the Yankees' most recent Game 6, Danny, that was Josh Beckett pitching for the Florida Marlins in Yankee Stadium on 3 days rest, the last Game 6 played in a World Series, and also, obviously then, the last time a starting pitcher has pitched a Game 6 on 3 days rest, as Andy Pettitte will go out to do on Wednesday evening.
Right, Scott. To bring it back to the present day, Andy Pettitte going. Not the only thing we'll be watching for in this Game 6. Chase Utley, already 5 home runs in the World Series. What's he going to do? And on the other side, Mark Teixeira, only 2 hits so far in the World Series for the Yankees. What's he going to do? The Yankees do get one advantage coming back home. They get to put Hideki Matsui back in their lineup. We get the designated hitter back into the World Series. The Yankees also will have Jorge Posada back in the lineup because obviously A.J. Burnett is not starting in Game 6. Now, what we do have, because we're down to these last 1 or 2 games of the season, you could have any number of pitchers coming in out of the bullpen either of these 2 nights. The Phillies, we don't know what's going to happen if they get to Game 7, what's going to be. Joe Girardi just said that A.J. Burnett on Wednesday would be his throw day. He doesn't know if he'd be for sure available then or maybe in a Game 7. And he did say that Mariano Rivera, he does expect would be available for multiple innings in a Game 6. The Yankees obviously would love to finish it in Game 6, although they do have CeCe Sabathia, ready to go in Game 7 if needed.
And both these managers, Joe Girardi and Charlie Manuel, the eyes in Game 6 and maybe in Game 7 if we get there, you just mentioned all the pitching issues, Danny, especially Andy Pettitte on 3 days. Joe Girardi probably is going to have some tough decisions to make in the late innings of Game 6 on when to pull Andy Pettitte, when he's had enough, which relievers to go to, and there's another Game 6 for you. Back in 2002, the Giants and the Angels, and the Giants almost had that World Series wrapped up. Dusty Baker goes out, takes Russ Ortiz out of the game, tells him, hey, take the ball with you. You're going to want this ball. This is going to be the World Series clincher, and you're going to keep it.
It wasn't.
No.
But we're going to see tomorrow, Wednesday night in the Bronx. We have Game 6, and we're hoping it's going to be a classic. We'll be here. Hope you're watching, and hope you'll join us after that game for our wrap-up with Scott Miller, Danny Knobler, CBSSports.com.